Hey Crew Tracks fans, we have an exciting new feature announcement for you. It is the ability to set job statuses on each of your jobs, as well as item statuses on each of your job items. I'm going to show you really quickly what you get with no setup, no work on your side. These are the default features, and if you like the way it's set up, you're all set. But if you want to customize it a bit, go on to the next video. So in the office, on the web app, when you go to a job page, you're going to notice this new feature right here, current status, open, and a view history button. By default, you're going to get these statuses, open, field complete, and closed. And then if you click view history, you can see who has changed the status to what status on what date and time. Pretty simple, right? Let's go on to the job items. On each job item, you also have a job item status here. Again, the default statuses are open, field complete, or closed, and you can view a history of any changes. By default, only admins and supervisors can choose any one of these statuses to change either the job status or the job item status. But someone using the mobile app as a foreman or crew leader will be able to move a job or job item to field complete, but that's about it. If they move it to field complete and then submit that daily report or that schedule, they can't change it out of field complete. So foremen only have the ability to move a job or item to field complete, and the other changes have to come from a supervisor or an admin. All of this is customizable. Again, if you like the idea but you want to customize it, watch the next video. But first, let's take a look at these default settings in the mobile app. Okay, I've got a schedule open here on my iPad. I've already put in some data so you can see what it looks like in the mobile app. So let's tap on the Jobs tab, which has become a lot more useful. First of all, you'll notice the status is right there next to the job. I only have one job on the schedule. If I tap on that job, it's going to give me a whole bunch of useful information about that job. First of all, the map pops up and you can see the job status right here, and as a foreman, I can move it to field complete, but I can't move it to closed, as I mentioned earlier. I also have the customer information here listed under contacts. It's pretty limited right now just to what you have in your customer information, but we'll expand that later. But you can see it has the customer description here. I just happen to have someone's name and phone number in there, but that's just the description of the customer. And then it has the address and shows you a map of their location. Let's tap back up here. And as we go down, we can see each of the job items with their individual item statuses. Right now they're all set to open. And if I tap on one of those items, I can see all of the information for that item for all time on the job, or I can tap on this schedule just to see what's been allocated on this schedule. And again, I've got the job item status right here that I can change to field complete, but as a foreman, I can't change it to closed. Okay, let's go back to all time and just scroll through here. So you can see we have the labor. We can see I'm over my target by 7.41 hours. I've used a little too much labor time based on the production I've completed. That same information is represented differently here on the production tab. It says you're a little bit behind on your production. It's kind of saying the same thing. I've used a little too much labor time, or to put it another way, I haven't had quite enough production from the time that we've put in. And on this particular job item, I don't have any equipment time or materials, but if I did, they would show up here. Let's scroll back up, go to this schedule, and again, you can see the labor time allocated on this schedule, the production on this schedule, and again, I don't have any equipment or materials on this schedule, but if I did, it would show up right there. All right, let's tap back right here to go back to the job view. We can see all the job items. We have this add job items button. You can add items right here from the jobs tab, and then you have all these shortcuts. So you can see the notes and photos, documents, and job sign-offs related to this job without having to navigate around to those from the menu. So you can just go straight to the documents by tapping here. Or you can use any of those other shortcut buttons to jump to that part of this schedule or daily report. And finally, we have one more time the labor allocated to this job, production by item, and any equipment or materials data, which I don't have for this job in this case, but if I did, it would show up right here. So to sum up the mobile app portion of this feature, the Jobs tab has just become this really useful hub of information and shortcuts about the job. So those are the basics. If you like what you see but you just want to customize it a bit, then watch the next video. Just a heads up that if this feature doesn't seem to fit your use case, no harm done. Everything will just stay in the open status forever. And by the way, this column that now exists on your jobs list, you can just go into the settings here and turn it off like you can anything else on the list. If you don't want to see this at all on your job, that's fine. We've got settings here in the job settings. You can turn it off completely there. But for the most part, this is a feature that could potentially be useful for you even if you don't have an urgent need right now. So just leave it activated. Everything will be in the open status forever until you decide to use these statuses. And just remind you one more time, by default, every job and every job item has 3 statuses: open, field complete, and closed. And there's no work required on your part. These are ready to go, so use them if they're useful to you. And again, if you want to customize those statuses, permissions, etc., watch the next video. I'll get into all the details.